Hello Minecrafters, and welcome to episode 28 of our Direwolf 20 Let's Play series. I'm going to go ahead and get on started. First of all, I want to go down to the deep dark, because there's something I want to go over real quick, and I need to be able to fly. Now, so I've been digging for a while. Well, been doing the quarry for a while, and everything seems to be running really smooth. Getting a lot of resources in. Now, there is one other thing I wanted to show you real quick. If you'll look up in the top left hand side at my map up there, all that stuff that is spawned around us, and then all of a sudden it stops. I think it's kind of neat. Well, today's shout out goes out to Line Runner 99, who said something about putting in magnum torches. And while they're a little bit of a pain to make, because they take a few resources, went ahead and made 3, and I put one over there, one here, and one down this way somewhere. There it is. It actually shows up in that map up in the top right, but if you'll notice, there is nothing anywhere around here. And if I'm not mistaken, these do a radius of like 128. But anyways, made a huge difference being able to come in here and look around, and just check up on things, see how everything was running. I'll go ahead and mark where we've gotten to, and if I have time at the end of the episode, we'll come back, see how much we've gotten in that amount of time. So now we'll head on back now that we've done that. The other thing, I still have not tied this in with the AE system. I pretty much just grab everything. I need to put that ring back on. I pretty much just grab everything, bring it over here, and throw it in. Renovated this a little bit. I'm really not using the area where I started upstairs anymore, so I kind of just made this like a little split level, and just use this as my main entrance. So actually, if you go up there, the room's still there, but it doesn't go anywhere. So I did this off camera. Like I said, just kind of made it like a split level. Go down here to our reactor, and all that's pretty much still the same as it was. Let's see. The tree farm is still running just fine. I did upgrade this butter barrel, and in doing so, you have to break the link to the other barrel because they have to be at the same upgrades. So I actually brought the other one in here, broke the link, upgraded them both to Emerald, which is the highest level. So I've still got some room on this one, plus I've got 89 slots left for upgrades. So this should hold us for a while. That one's already maxed out. I haven't decided if I'm going to upgrade this or just, keep 703 stacks. So who knows. But yeah, other than that, like I said, this is staying right in our sweet zone, where I've got this set. So this right now is doing great, and this entire system is fully self-sufficient, all the way down to the production of the cobble, using the machine inventory manager from Steve's Factory Manager to make our axes from logs. It takes the wood, turns it into boards, turns it into sticks, takes the cobble from down here, makes the axes, and then they go up here. So, like I said, with this setup, everything's running great. Let's see. And I think that's pretty much it out here. I did change how I was doing this. And instead of trying to do individual colors and all that, I just threw them all in a group. And came over here, threw a farming machine, I think. Rancher. Threw a rancher on them, so it shears them. Throws all that in this box here. And we have wool. And the main reason for that was our AE system. Last episode, I know I stumbled around this a bunch, and I'm feeling a little better about it. I'll show you what all I've got set up so far in just a second. But while I really like the Ender IO, I'm not real fond of how the cables work for this. That's right, I forgot I was gonna go that direction, but changed my mind. I was gonna take cables down there and set up for here and take some over here, but what I'm gonna end up doing is I'll end up moving all of this over here in this area, and then this is gonna be all my auto crafting and stuff like that. And I might leave some machines either here or do something over here because I always want my auto crafting in one area, but I always want a few other, a few select machines that, I'll just do one-ups on, or, I might be in a hurry for something and just want to manually do it. So I'll usually keep an area with a few machines like that. Now, what I did is I ran a dense cable all the way down to here and then came up, and that's going to be my main feed. And under here you can see right there I've got the ME controller, and so it ties up here and then goes out here on the dense one. And then under here you can see where the dense cable goes through, and then you've got the smart cable going up feeding into the interface. And then I have 5 interfaces. Close that back up. I have 5 interfaces basically going from the floor to the ceiling, and each interface has a molecular assembler tied to it. Now, the cool thing is you don't actually have to be able to touch that in there to put your patterns on it. You can actually access it here. Now what I did was, let me grab one real quick. That's controller ME interface. You can take these to an anvil, drop it in here, and you can change the name. R6 is my next one. It only costs 5 experience levels, so I mean it's really not that big a deal, but I'm not going to name that one. But anyways, what that allows you to do is you can come here to your interface terminal and interface R1, R2, R3, 4, and 5, and that's from the bottom up. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My idea was, facing this is on the right. So it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I guess if I do another tree, it'll be 6 through 10. So kind of cool that you can name those. That way, from here in the interface terminal, you can tell exactly which one you're doing. And you can see here that I've gone ahead and done a few. One thing I ran into on evidently with the 1.0.3, there was a change to Java. The Obsidian upgrade. I've never seen this before, but it requires a white frequency obsidian. So to make that, you have to have a paintbrush and the white dye of some sort, and 7 obsidian. I didn't mean to click that. And to make this, it's 2 sticks and a string. So it's really not that big a deal, except for one thing. Okay, this takes 4. To make this, you make 7 at a time. Yeah, that doesn't come out even. So that means you have to do this. If you're only going to do 1, then you'll use 4, and you'll have 3 left over. Well, if you do 2, you have to do 14, and you're only going to use 8. So it would have been nice if they had done something so it would have come out even. And like I said, this is apparently very new. I haven't done any research on it or checked into it any, but I thought that was interesting. But as I digress, I went ahead and did a few of these different things just to test things out. I can go ahead and throw something together. Let's see, I'll do a barrel, and I don't know, I'm gonna do a couple barrels. So basically you just come in here, and I've got 1. So you take that out, and now it turns to craft. That means there's not any here, but it knows how to make it. So you click on that, and I'll do 10. Now here's another thing that has changed from AE1 to AE2. From here, when you click next, you get this screen. And this basically tells you what you need and what you have. So I've got 91 oak, and that's how many I need. And I have 2 of the slabs. It's going to craft 12. I have 3 planks. It's going to craft 84. Apparently I don't have any chests because it's going to craft 10 of those, and in all of this to craft 10 better barrels. Now we talked about memory, and this crafting plan is going to take 354 bytes. These are the materials it's going to use. Now if I click cancel, it's not going to do anything. I have to click start to tell this to start crafting. And you can also, I'm not really sure what it is about changing the CPU or clicking on that. I just leave it on automatic. But this tells I have 20,480 storage. That's the bytes. And I have 10 coprocessors, which means I can craft 10 things at a time. And that is all determined by this. These are my 10 coprocessors. I've got 5 up top, 5 down below. And then down across the middle, I've got 5 4K crafting storage. So that is where all of that came in. So we'll go back to our barrel. Now, if I were to put in, say, 100 and click next, well, you can see one thing, I don't have enough of the oak wood. You can also see how much the bytes used to craft this, how much this has gone up. And I do not have the option to start because I don't have the resources. Let's go 500, see what it looks like. See? And this is rapidly going up. Let's see. There's 100 I didn't have enough for. Don't have enough for that. So I've got 198 in the system. So I need 258 more. Now, the reason for this is because I don't have this tied in with it. If I did, I would have enough. But the system cannot talk to my barrels over there yet because I haven't done the storage bus. I have not done the storage buses yet to put the Java barrels on it yet. Oh wait, barrel. So let's go ahead and craft up 10 of these, and you'll be able to watch it right over here. Next, start, and you can see what all it does, and that's done. There's my 10, and it did it that fast, which I think is really cool. This is, having these 10 instead of 2 makes a big difference on that as well. So this is pretty much how far I have gotten on this. I've gotten into learning about the crafting coprocessors, the storage, the ME interface terminal, the pattern terminal. This is where you make your patterns that are stored here. Well, I say stored here, but you can interact with them here. They're actually stored over here. For instance, if I go ahead and remove this, I can right click here and see these are the actual patterns. I'm not real sure what this is for yet. If I can talk right, if I understand right, there's something about you can put a certain number of items here that coincide with items you're crafting, and it will always keep that many here. So if you're working with another mod and it pulls from this, then it'll craft to replace items that are pulled out of it. Still got to look into this. Not real well versed on how the stored items work, but as I've said, this is a learning process, so we'll take it a step at a time. Okay, next item, the pattern terminal. Just like in AE1, you can, I don't know, make bread. Then you click this and it will encode the pattern for the bread. And if I'm not mistaken, you can also shift right click and clear it back out if you get it wrong, or like I've done many times, make a second pattern for something you've already got. And this is the setup for crafting that's used in a setup like this. Now, if you're going to use this with a machine to say, you want to send 3 items over here to create an alloy, then what you would do is, instead of a crafting pattern, you would click this and use a processing pattern. And that way you'll put over here those 3 items that will cook into an alloy, and then you'll put your alloy over here that will come out. Now, one thing, you do have multiple slots here in case there are multiple outputs. However, what you do not want to do is you don't want to put anything over here that is not 100% produced. I'll show you what I mean. With the SAG mill, when you run gold ore through it, you get 2. With iron, you get 2. Every once in a while, you'll get an extra. And I didn't see what it was, but it came up with 2 iron, powder, something else, and a cobble. You would not want to put these 2 in there. Only what you get 100%. So if you're running copper gravel ore, or copper ore, what you would want to put is 2 copper dust on your output. Because the iron dust is 10% and cobble is 15, you do not want to put these in there. The reason is, if you put your copper ore here and you put iron dust here, it's not going to know this is 10%. And so it might pull from this if you request iron. Well, chances are you're going to get a whole lot of copper before you ever get that iron. And also chances are you won't get the iron on the first run, because it's only going to send it one time. And then it's going to sit there stuck because it sent it and it's waiting to get that back, and it's not going to. Well, chances are. So the only thing on the output you want to put here is what you have a 100% chance to get. And that is where I'm at on this so far. Next thing I'm going to be doing is start setting up some auto crafting. I'll start moving these machines over to here, and I'm looking into peer-to-peer and how to do subnetworks, because what I'm thinking about doing is setting up a subnetwork for each string of machines that comes off here, because we're only going to be able to run 8 channels on the smart cable. So got to look into that and see how best I can work with that. So that will be our next direction. And let's see, there was something else. Hold on just a minute, I'll be right back. Okay, I knew there was something else, and I just had to kind of get my brain in gear and figure out what it was. And what it was someone had asked, it actually wasn't in the forum, or not forums, but it wasn't in the comments, but someone had asked me how I mine. Because even before starting with the quarry, they said that, you know, they watched me, they watched Direwolf, and I always seem to have so much more in materials. So they wanted to know what I did as far as mining. And so I thought I'd take a minute to show exactly how I mine. Now I'm going to go down to, I guess, about 10. I think that's where this one is. That's 12. Now we'll see if we can fire up some diamonds. Yeah, we'll do that. We're down at, what's that, 8? Yep. Well, goodbye. Okay, so what I've got is, the main thing I use is my cobalt hammer. This has a cobalt head with, what the? People gotta be hating on me. Trying to record and do some work here and keep on bothering me. Okay. According to the map, there's another one nearby. Anyways. Alright. Cobalt hammer. It's got a cobalt head with a manilin handle and 2 plates. And then it's got all the redstone I could get it to hold, 1 moss, and silk touch. And I also added 2 upgrades, if I'm not mistaken, to get everything on there to fit. It's got reinforced from the manilin, I believe. The haste comes from the redstone, the auto repair from the moss, and the silky from the silk touch, or it's a ball of moss. But anyways, that's made in Tinker's Construct. And then of course I've got my regular cobalt pickaxe, which is set up with luck, auto repair, and haste. And I usually don't use that while I'm actually mining, but I usually have it with me. I also keep an iron excavator, which is basically the excavator made out of iron from Tinker's Construct, and it's literally just only iron, no modifiers on it. just for removing dirt as I'm mining. Then I keep a digger's backpack, and inside of this I keep 6 stacks of dirt, 6 stacks of gravel, and in the middle I keep filled with flint. These are so that I always have some on me, but it won't go any higher because I also keep dev nulls. Your packs will fill faster or fill before your dev null. So as long as you have both, you have your dirt and all that stuff in here, but anything that once this fills, it'll go into these, and then once these fill, it voids it. So that's my setup for that. And because I'm using Silk Touch, I get stone. So I have the builder's backpack. And in this, it usually stays full of stone. And the reason for this, rather than eliminating this and just voiding all of it, is because a lot of times when you're digging and things like that, you'll come across lava, or you'll dig out holes that you want to refill, things like that. Well, as long as this is set on resupply, and I have any here on my hotbar, as soon as I place it, it will refill from my backpack. And so that gives me the ability to fill back in, or if I come up on lava or something like that, I can fill that back in. But that's my setup. So if I open this back up, whereas it was completely full, now you can see that one's at 45. And with this setup, I can do it when nothing else is in my pack. And then of course I keep extra torches in my little knapsack here. So if I come over here, when I first roll out, that is what I have in my pack, and I'll scroll click to sort everything here, and that puts everything on my top line. And then this is pretty much the setup that I always use on my home bar. That way anything that doesn't go in these or refill here will be in these 2 blocks. And then I can send that back with the ender pouch. But the main thing about this is the speed. And what I'll do is I will dig in 10, stop, and drop a torch. And that's the reason my torch stays just to the right of my hammer, because with my hammer equipped, I can right click and it will automatically place a torch. Whenever you right click with this hammer, it will automatically try and use whatever item is to the left on the bar. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's our 10. Now if I bring up this with our F7, I'll place a torch here, and then I'll place one behind me, and then move on again. And then that's whenever I hit the dirt, and that should be my 10. And then I'll clear that out enough where I can drop my torch and move on. And put the stone there. And that's how I dig. Now you'll notice, let's see, we got redstone, gold, yellorium, redstone, coal. I must have been off somewhere because I don't usually have that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep, I miscounted. because when you keep it 10, you'll never get a spot to spawn. Shoot. When I'm not trying to do it recording, it's easy to keep up with. Yep. I was off by 2. And you can see we have diamond. And we've got redstone, we've got dense redstone, and also, oh, I forgot to mention, I have miner's backpacks also. And majority of the stuff that I mine will end up in these, like that. So you can see just in that short sprint right here, I've got 9 diamond ore here, plus I have, oh, I guess I didn't have any dense iron, or I didn't have any dense diamond yet, but I do have diamond there and diamond there, so we'll go a little bit more. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then once I get, on down the way, and if you look in the map up on the top right, you can see just how much I have done this. So if I get, once I get down to however far I'm going, then I'll come back and, dig out whatever on the walls I want to keep. And then of course we want to get the diamond there. And I always try and make sure that I keep placing torches if my little red X's show up, just to make sure I don't have anything spawning in behind me or anything like that. And also I am normally in blaze form whenever I'm mining. And the reason is, especially digging down this low, it's very easy to come across lava, and removing this much material at one time, there are times that you can drop the lava right down on top of yourself. So you do have to be careful with that. But like I said, I'm normally in blaze form, so it's one of those things you don't really have to worry about in blaze form. And another thing you can do, okay, I've dug one and then it goes to that. I can clean that out, or since I've got my stone here, I can just place stone and then go back in. I think that's right. Oh, come on, place it. Now see, as a blaze, I wouldn't have to worry about that. But no big deal. There. And now I got that plugged back up, so no worries. And we got more diamond. All right, so that is how I mine. Maybe that's helpful. I don't know. If I do know that some servers won't let you run quarries, or they're very particular about who can run quarries or things like that. So you can do some really fast strip mining with this setup. So, and then, you know, just like with everything else, oh wow, got a dark area here. Maybe that's where I've been getting stuff sneaking up on me. You know, with the hammer setup, and then with my little automated fortune pick here, sending this all back with your ender pouch, and what you don't send back automatically, you can come and dump in your system and let it run through that, and then you're going to get the additional material from that. Now, another cool thing with these is you can either open it, put it all back into your inventory, and then put it wherever it needs to go, or whatever's in there when it's equipped, if you'll shift right click, it will empty that out into whatever you shift right click on. And now you can see that it's got all my diamond ore, it's got the redstone, all that stuff. And now that will start cycling through with the fortune pickaxe. And I will get the additional materials as well as the levels. So that should wrap up this episode. I hope you've enjoyed the episode. And like I've said, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Post it down in the comments. I'll try and cover what I can. If I can't answer it in chat, you know, I might throw it in with one of the videos. So like I said, if you have any suggestions or if you have any questions, make sure to put them down there. Hope you enjoyed the episode. I hope it was helpful. If it was, please help me out by clicking like down below. That does help. But most of all, I hope you enjoyed the episode and you'll come back to visit. I'm Jim Slate. Hope you take care and God bless.